Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my page of pure common sense and, of course, research to the fullest extent of the law and, of course, knowledge, which is simplified of the unknown of all those individuals who think they are such brainiacs when it comes to pretty much everything. Okay. Um, if you have any questions, put it below. All right. Okay. Do you like my shirt? Okay. Do you like my little Scully cap? Okay. You know, this is my professionalism right here. I love this. This is nice. Okay? It's a scary, fearful, beautiful type of design I've seen. And I was like, yo, man, this is beautiful. Okay. Now, this video is going to be about my perfect personality. Just in case if some female will happen to click on, you know, polygamy anyone. Okay. They might want to know what my personality is. And I'll tell you my personality. Okay. And I'm not afraid of telling it, because there's nothing against the law of telling about yourself, okay? But let me get right to it, okay? When I was a child, I saw darkness. And through the darkness, I was born into my mother's womb. Though my father I did not know, I'm automatically assuming that I was born from the universal God, just as Jesus was. And a lot of gods, of course. So I didn't really know who my dad was. And my mom never told me. She still lives to this day. But I forgive her, because I've been blessed greatly because of it. So, Jesus died at the ripe old age of 33, with all of his magical charms and knowledge. So I'm going down the same path, the narrow path, but I'm not going to sacrifice myself. I'm going to try another method, okay? I'm in a new body. I consider myself Jesus, in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of individuals in the world, they are considered Jesus, but you don't know how many Jesuses or prophets that walk the earth. Like Elijah Muhammad, he was like a Jesus, okay? You know, a lot of people want to be worshipped or respected in their own philosophies and times, okay? But on to my story. Okay, when I was a child, I wasn't really treated right, so to be honest, I was kind of abused. But then I realized something, and I'm gonna make a video on this, is that people who usually abuse because they were abused, okay, right, are usually nutballs. You stay the fuck away from this as far as you can. Can you hear me? You hear in the court cases, you know, this guy abused this because he was abused. Said, no, that's an idiot. He needs to be thrown his ass in jail. He was a fucking idiot, okay? You don't suffer someone because you've been suffered, okay? I'll use common sense. I say, wait a minute, I don't want to suffer this way. Why would I want to abuse somebody because of what I was abused? That's common logic to me, okay? So something's illogical for a person who wished to abuse someone because they were abused, okay? You know, you gotta watch them type of people. I did this because I was this way. Think about that, okay? Now, okay, when I was younger, okay, I always thought about God because my mom put me in church, and I basically disagreed with a lot of stuff naturally. Not like my brothers and sisters. So naturally, I kind of was automatically different from my brothers and sisters. The oldest and the wisest, firstborn. Oh. Okay, now, you know, my family was okay, except my mother and dad. My brothers and sisters, I had no problem with, okay? You know, as I was growing up, I learned how to isolate myself because I had no choice. You know, I had a little accident and fell on my mouth, and my teeth was kind of messed up at one time. Okay, and then I started trying to talk to girls. Okay, and then I didn't really encounter any kind of pimps or hustlers or anything like that at that time, but I seen a lot of highly attractive guys who pretty much what got girls like. Okay, I seen that when I was a very young age. Now here, remember now. So I started wondering why the girls was rejecting me. Okay, you know, basically I told my mom, and she said, don't worry about it. You should be worried about your education. And that's what I did. I started worrying about education, started reading every fucking thing when I was a kid, okay? Actually, as a matter of fact, I was smarter than my mom, because I would tell her certain things that she would actually do that was incorrect to me, naturally, and get smacked for it, okay? So born as a starch seed child, I started hearing the voice when I almost killed my dad, okay? Because my dad was really kind of ruthless, okay? He was really mean. Even though it was not his fault, okay, of the things that he was doing, I forgave him. But that's when I almost killed his juggler, but I did not kill his juggler because a voice told me. Wonder where the voice came from. Maybe because I talked to God so much in my suffering? But God didn't answer me fast enough, so I started going towards the dark side. So I said, wait a minute. Okay, if I can't have an expedient death, and I can't get out of this life, then I have to take advantage of what I have now, okay? So I asked God and the dark side to work together so you can actually make my life a little better. So whatever side is stronger in this realm, which people call it Satan, okay, then I will work with the person who actually has the strongest power, externally or internally. And so God still controls everything, okay. I'm going to the next one. I was very lonely when I was growing up, okay. I was lonely since all the way up to the age of, like, you can say, I think it was 17 to 18. I started having little girlfriends, but I never really hit any female, like sexually. Never got down there and shit like that. I didn't know what condoms was and shit like that. People called me a girl and a boy at the same time because the way I looked at that time, I kind of looked like a boy and a girl. Okay. Now, okay, since I was lonely for such a long time, I started just using my spare time into studying human behavior. And then I started getting into something even more. And as I always said, how can I harm people who have harmed me? Okay. Started reading demonology, started reading magic. I started finding out, wait a minute, do I have to give my soul up? I said, no, I don't have to give my soul up. So I never gave up my soul. Some people think I gave up my soul, and I've never gave up my soul. Okay. Now, I go into the deep parts of the woods. I try to find darkness as a key, a way out. Darkness as a key, a way out. And it seems to work, okay? Because when you start being religious and you start going to the light side, and then you start talking to people who don't really have any knowledge, and you ask questions and they can't even break it down for you, then that means they didn't have a lot of common sense. They lived through fear, okay? Now, on to the next thing. So my philosophy was less is more, okay? In the spiritual world, okay? So if you have more in this life, you better get rid of it. Maybe the Bible is telling the truth on some things, okay? Some things in the Bible, it's like common sense, okay? All right? Okay, you have all this wealth, but you can't give it away, okay? Now, okay, let's see. My magic tends to work, okay? So I would say a word, and then I would just leave it to the wind, okay? Because my heart is pure, because I have not done any wrong to anyone because of my isolation. In a box. I lived in an isolation box. I never really go out the house. I always went to the room, and I was living in sorrow and fear, okay? Because I got so many rejections. But I did attain some few friends, okay? Okay, let me see, okay. I met up with the alien gray when my mother kicked me out. I lived in Clairton, and then I found out I met an alien gray. I met my magic stick, okay? Certain magical things started happening, okay? My grandma was dealing with dark magic. She didn't know how to use it. I was trying to show her. She started smiling. That's like the only time she actually smiled at me. I said, wait, Big Ma, you're doing that wrong. If you want to be a dark witch, you have to... She smiled. She said, I don't want to hear you, okay? But she was using tarot cards. I was on another page, baby. Okay. So, let's see. My pros and cons is, my pros is positive on every different thing. Sometimes I can be a little explicit, and basically my cons is I'm a little strict. So if you strike me once, and I told you not to do something, and I whip you twice, you know, subliminally, metamorphic, metaphors. It's a metaphor. Then you deserve what you get, okay? Okay, let's see, okay? Now, for every female I've dealt with as a second boyfriend, okay, as a masseuse or something like that, I basically told them something will happen. And it actually did happen, okay? Exact word from word, okay? Actually, more expedient than possible. So I learned from a lot of dark women, evil women, okay, who basically felt that they was a Cleopatra. And then I realized how negative they were. So that's why I tell you most of my information and all my research and all my books and stuff. It's too much stuff, okay? If you go back there, okay? Always since the 1920s, okay? Now, come on now. Okay, I had my menage a trois, not like other guys, okay? All right? Let's see, not having sex either now here. Let's keep that in mind, okay? Let me see what else, okay? That's it in a nutshell. So thank you very much for listening to my videos, brothers and sisters of light and dark. I told you everything about my whole entire life. My life wasn't that, it was very exciting, okay? But then I already realized that I'm going to metamorphosize into a god or a soul devourer. That's my decision. You see the shirt? Isn't it cool? I don't like negative people or sensitive people. I don't like people who are not strong, okay? Who are not very intelligent. People who don't use common sense, okay? Which most people don't have common sense, okay? I've talked to gynecologists, I talked to psychiatric cares and psychologists, and they seem to don't have a lot of sense either, okay? And I'm not a narcissistic, okay? So don't call me a narcissistic and get cursed, okay? Because, I judge people according to how the way they treat me, and that's all I wanted is respect, okay? So I'm kind of like, I'm a multifaceted character, okay? So I'm not really, you just can't pin me down and say you're a narcissist. You can't put me in that box, okay? Even though some people may think I am, okay? But that's all I wanted to say, brothers and sisters of light and dark. This is connected to the, polygamy, anyone, okay? Because I'm open-minded to many different things. There's no God here, okay? There's a God right here, okay? You should worship me, okay? You should give me your money, okay? I'll use it for the right cause. Okay. Thank you very much for listening to my videos, brothers and sisters of light and dark. If you have any questions, you put that goddamn down in the goddamn question there or the comment box. This is under 10 minutes. Congratulations for listening. Peace.